Okay, there are a lot of tears here. I'm not going to apologize for them. I just haven't learned how to modulate my emotions yet. I'm like 3 days into this. I had an epiphany a couple days ago where my ADHD and anxiety no longer were my tormentors. 49 fucking years old. I don't know why I looked at my watch. As if that was going to change in the next 5 seconds. But some things can change in like 5 seconds, like your mind. I mean, it might take 49 years to change your mind in 5 seconds, but it's like a lot of overnight successes take 7 to 10 years to be a success overnight. And what better project to be successful on than your own emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. I just had an experience that confirmed the journey that I'm on. I'm on an island, literally. It's called Antelope Island. It's in the middle of the Great Salt Lake in Utah. And it's where I found my love of ultra running. I have a lot of energy. One of my ADHD and anxiety superpowers is physical endurance. It's been both a blessing and a curse. Hopefully I've removed the curse part of it, because I endured shit for years and years and years and years that I should never have endured, but I did because I could. And I didn't know what else to do. But now, I know what to do. And it's embrace who I am, the gifts I've been given. Quit hiding behind them, quit being ashamed of them, quit being afraid of them, and using them for good. And if you're hearing this, reading this, watching this, I don't know what form this is going to take. And you're not ready for it, just put a pin in this. I mean, people have been telling me my entire life that, you know, I'm one thing or another. And the reality is, if you're a neurodivergent, nobody can actually tell you what you are. You have to figure it out on your own. I'm just glad I finally did. Grew up in an environment that did not embrace this. It was pushed down. It was labeled a lot of things that are incorrect. But what finally switched in my head, you know, this week was that anxiety and ADHD are not my tormentor, they are my teacher. And as things happen a lot, if you're listening, you get confirmation from the universe. And I just got it, that I'm doing the right thing. And there's a lot of raw emotions that need to be understood and trained. I'm sick of pushing them down. I won't do it anymore. I am going to live an authentic life where I am me. Doesn't matter if I'm walking across a dried up lake bed or hiking in a mountain back there. Oh, geez. Hiking in this lake bed's maybe not the best idea. But you might be able to see from the reflection back there. One of the things that really helps focus me is to get out in nature, and one of the things that I really love about being out in nature is trying to learn from it. And for whatever reason, I have a fascination with antlers. Grew up in Utah. I'm a outdoor guy, always have been, always will be. For whatever reason, I'm not a hunter. I'm glad other people do it. It's actually good for herd population health and all that. Poaching, fuck you. Don't ever fucking poach. But feel strongly about that. But what I like to do is actually find antlers that the animals are done with already. I don't want to kill them for it. But what it does is it helps me really be in tune with nature and try to get into the minds of the animals and figure out where they are when it's time to drop the antlers. And I came out here today really trying to find some confirmation that what I'm doing is right. I'm on the right path, because like, you can have amazing friends. I have the best core group of friends now that are like-minded, similar, but I mean, we're all different. We have great complementary characteristics and attributes, but for the really meaningful stuff, it's really just between you and the universe. And some people will put, religious labels on that. Some will put astrological. Really, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that you understand it in whatever construct makes sense to you. I mean, I fully understand that getting the spiritual confirmation that I'm on the right path by finding a pair of deer antlers that were lost last year on an island in the middle of a salty lake that's really unusable for any sort of recreation. Yeah, we've all got our thing. So appreciate everybody else's, unique characteristics and what makes them tick and what they need. And, be happy for them, but worry about your own shit. Quit scapegoating. I've done so many different things in my life to scapegoat and buffer and pretty much ignore what I need to do in my life. And because it's hard and you don't know how to do it. And no one can tell you how to do it. You've got to fucking figure it out yourself. And it's scary and it's hard. And some people figure it out early. Some people never figure it out. I'm a little beyond the halfway point before I ever figured out that I wasn't even at the right starting line. So, I'm finally at the right starting line, and I needed a little bit of confirmation that I was at the right starting line because I need to do some hard things right now. And I have to do them alone, which really sucks. But it's necessary. It's not going to take forever, with focused energy. I can get this done. But I needed a little bit of confirmation, and I came out here singing This Island Earth by the Nylons. I might be vulnerable enough to share that now. I'm a shit singer and I don't fucking care anymore. I used to care, I don't care. It was a means of expression, and for lack of a better term, it was kind of a version of a chant or a prayer, or agriculture has a different word for it. And I got a sledgehammer resounding yes answer that I am doing the right thing. I basically walked about as straight to this pair of antlers as you can. It's kind of like I just knew where they were. And I found the first one and I was totally stoked. It was awesome. And I was so fired up because I don't know how I know, but you can zone out on this part, but like the way the antler was laying on the ground, I could tell that the deer was going north because it was tines down. When they fall tines down, they follow the direction they're going. If you do this enough, you kind of figure it out. And I love that the first one was tines down. These are tines. And I was really wanting to find the pair because that was going to be really meaningful. It's hard to find the match. More than likely somebody else has already found it and I found the other one. But in the area that I was in, that was a little less likely. So I was like, I think I'm going to look for it. And kind of having the idea that the deer was going one way and the trail was about to disappear, onto a rocky ledge to the north. I'm like, okay, the pair to it is just to the south. And I have found antler matches more than a half mile apart, more than 300 feet of elevation difference apart. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to look around for a little bit. I looked around and I found, a lot of places that the other antler wasn't. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go back to where I found the other one. I'm just going to take a deep breath. I'm going to quit trying so hard. I'm just going to look around. 2 seconds later, I found it 6 feet away. It was in a scrubby bush. And so I can see how I missed it the first time. It was literally 6 feet away. And so, there is a lesson there. We got some important things that are right in front of us, but a lot of times we miss it. It's right at our feet. We're looking too far away. We're not living in the moment. We're not listening. And the second one was tines up. I love yin yang shit. First one was down, second one was up. In a perfect yin yang pattern, just 6 feet apart. Had some pretty good tears there for a minute because it was a really visceral feeling, which I've spent my entire life pushing those down, but not anymore. My literal last name is Boyd, and it means literally messenger. And I've always known that I needed to be a voice for something. And I didn't know what, because I didn't know who I was. I pushed it down. I mean, I don't have any delusions of grandeur or anything. I'm just a guy that has finally figured out my fucking feelings and hopefully can help some other people do the same and learn the lessons that they need to learn. The universe is pretty damn cool, and I got one more layer of confirmation. When I got done crying and realized that what I had come to this island for, I had found, and I'm now actually just taking a beeline straight back to the car. Normally I like to get more miles in, but my purpose here today is complete, so I'm just going to head back to the truck. When I got done crying and looked at my phone, because I always like to actually screenshot where I am. I'm nerdy. Comes with the neurodivergent territory. I like to keep a record of where I find stuff. because it helps me know where to look for other things. But when I looked down at my phone, I saw the time. And I know time's arbitrary, and I know that numbers can be arbitrary. If I'm being really honest, which I've actually discovered is one of my superpowers that I had been fighting for a lot of my life just because I didn't understand who I was. But when I look down at when I look down at my phone, I saw that the time was 1:11. That fucking number keeps popping up, and you know what? It's an angel number. I don't even believe in that stuff, but I'm starting to. But what that number means, and this is the second time in a year that there's been a significant event where that number popped up, just means you are exactly where you are supposed to be. That was a confirmation I needed that I am doing the right thing. You guys, you can do it. We can all do it. Don't give up. Just seriously, don't give up. Don't numb, don't buffer. I spent the last 5 years trying to ignore and buffer my feelings. Everybody does it in different ways. You know, it's how a lot of the isms start. And I have no qualifications at all, other than I am just somebody that is going through this process. So, you know, if you need professional help, get professional help, please. But just know that you can go from being on a desert where there's nothing to being on a mountain full of life. If you just change your perspective. Because you can literally be standing in the exact same place and looking at desolation or looking at life. You just have to turn the right direction. And you can do it. You have to use your voice to choose to do it. Most of the voices that tell you not to do it aren't your own. They're your family, they're society, they're unrealistic media expectations. Just do it. Because you can. This has been a really cathartic day, and if I'm the only person that ever gets any benefit from this, that's awesome. But hopefully you can too.